Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my playthrough of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Last episode, I became a Spectre. Hurrah! So this episode, as I said, is going to be all side quests. All side quests all the time. So let's get started.
That guy's up to something.
What guy?
The one over by the Keeper.
What? Oh, no, I wasn't. Never mind.
Subtle, dude. Subtle.
Yes, is there something you want?
Why are you so interested in the Keepers?
Keepers? I've got no interest in the
Don't get coy. I know what I saw.
I'm not so sure I should be talking to you about this.
We're just talking. Is there something wrong with that?
No.
That's a threatening tone,
I guess it
and
won't
he
hurt to
didn't
tell
catch
you.
it at all.
I'm using a small scanner to gather readings on the Keepers. So far I've had mixed results. I find it difficult to get near the creatures.
On a side note, just while I'm getting started, Solarians are vaguely salamander-like, but their design is also based on that of the Greys. You know the Greys. They are pretty much the classic alien depiction. You know, skinny bodies, big head, huge round black eyes. It's how people who claim to have been abducted by aliens have described them for decades. So, Solarians have a bit of that going on.
Why were you being so secretive about it, though?
Well, technically we're not supposed to disturb the Keepers. I don't really think my scanning disturbs them, but the authorities might disagree. I'd like to do it more openly, but it's not really worth getting arrested over.
I could help you out. I'm not worried about the authorities.
I
don't
am
even
the
know who you
authorities. I am the authority.
My name's Shepard. I'm with Special Tactics and Reconnaissance.
A Spectre? Well, nobody would dare stop you. All right, then. You'll need this. It's the scanning device I developed. Activate it each time you see a Keeper. All collected data will automatically upload to my database. I'll even send a few credits your way for each unique scan.
Yeah, now that I've mentioned that they're based in the Greys, you can see it, right? It's hard not to see it once you're aware of it. It's it's just one of the ways BioWare used this game to make nods and homages to all sorts of classic sci-fi stuff.
What are you doing with the data once you've scanned it?
Trying to learn whatever I can about the Keepers. We see them working everywhere, yet we know so little about them. I'm a scientist. I want to know what makes them tick.
I should get going then.
Yes, I have much work myself. So long, and good luck with the scanning.
Hurrah! So yeah, that starts an assignment here. 20 keepers, sorry. There are 4 of them up here. So that was number 1. Number 2, which side? There we go. Yeah, 4 of them in the tower. So I'll get those 4 out of the way real quick before doing the next one. Before starting the next side quest. Only going to take a couple minutes here. There he is.
I hope he's okay.
Number 3. Yeah, you get 50 credits and a few experience for each one you do. Which is not too bad. It'll add up pretty quickly.
No, I'm waiting to speak with one of the Councilor's assistants.
And here is number 4 up here.
No, I just want to ask a couple of questions.
There's a lot of dialogue like this, where you move a little bit away, move back.
No, I haven't spoken to him before. This is the first time I've requested an audience.
You sound like he's having a good time.
Yeah, I'll wait. Doesn't seem like I have much choice. Congratulations on becoming the first human Spectre, Commander. I'm certain you'll be up to the challenge.
I appreciate that.
My name is Admiral Kahoku. It's about time the Alliance got one of our own in with the Spectres. We need people like you to deal with our problems.
Kahoku, as an aside, the word means star in Hawaiian. Just figured I'd mention that.
Is something wrong, Admiral?
I'm getting stonewalled by bureaucratic assholes. Nothing new. Maybe you can help me, Shepard. One of my recon teams was investigating some strange activity out in the Traverse. We lost contact yesterday. Now I can't get clearance to check it out. Suddenly it's a restricted area. But that doesn't apply to you, Shepard. Spectres can go anywhere they want. You could find out why my team dropped out of contact.
Glad
I'll
to.
find them, Admiral.
I appreciate that, Commander. I was running out of options. I'm gonna stay here and see if I can find anything out through official channels. Won't hold my breath, though. I'll upload the info on where my team was last seen to your ship. Maybe you can get some answers.
But how does he know what ship is mine? I'm
I hope he's okay.
Of course he knows what ship I'm going to be having. I'm going to have. Of course he knows what ship I'm going to be in charge of. Everyone watching this knows what ship I'm going to be in charge of.
I'm on a break. Talk to someone else if you need anything. I've got a lot on my mind.
Rude. I mean, I'm all for, I am very much in favor of sympathy towards people in the service industry. So I don't want to say anything rude about him. Like, I don't want to say anything bad about his attitude there, but it was kind of a bad attitude he presented
Maybe
there.
I can help.
Well, maybe you can. You're a soldier, right? You ever head out to the Traverse?
Sometimes.
My brother's the captain of a ship called the Majesty. It was crossing the Traverse a few days ago when it disappeared. Just dropped right off the grid. And that usually means one of two things. They had massive mechanical failure, or they were attacked.
And okay, I will give him a pass on his attitude. I won't give a pass on his employers for forcing him to come into work when his brother is probably dead.
Neither one of those options leaves a lot of hope.
I won't give up on my brother. Not yet. I've got the coordinates for the last transmission from his vessel.
What kind of ship was it?
Don't let the name fool you. The Majesty's just a small trading vessel, only a handful of crew. But he kept it in good condition. I don't think mechanical failure is too likely. But they don't have any real weapons or shields. If anyone did come after them, the Majesty'd be a sitting duck.
I'm not a jerk. I'm not going to ask about a reward. If you do ask, he just says that he doesn't have any money, and asks that you do it as a favor for humanity sticking together. But, like I said, I'm not going to ask that, because that's just a jerk thing to do, and my
Isn't
Shepherd is a
anyone else
good
looking
person.
into this?
My brother's just a small independent trader. Ships like his disappear in the Traverse all the time.
Give me the coordinates.
I'll forward them to your ship right away. Please let me know as soon as you find them.
Alright. I love the music.
In other news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
So, yeah, there's a side quest we're gonna have to do. I could skip the elevator, but I don't want to. There are...
Please do not disturb the keepers.
Be quiet. There are 8 keepers on the Presidium.
I've told you before, you're not allowed in here.
Hey, that conversation.
One believes it has the right to remain in this area.
Let's talk to the dude who's being harassed first.
Do you desire to learn of the Enkindlers? Or has the Honorable CSEC officer enlisted assistance?
Hanar. Yeah, this is a Hanar. The Hanar are all voiced by Mark Beer.
Why is the CSEC officer harassing you?
The CSEC officer requests that this one purchase an evangelical permit to spread the truth of the Enkindlers.
Who are the Enkindlers?
Your people know them as the Protheans. They are the true creators of this one's people. The Enkindlers raised the Hanar from ignorance into consciousness by granting this one's people the gift of speech.
So you're breaking the law by preaching without a permit right now.
The CSEC officer states that preaching in this place is forbidden, and preaching anywhere on the Citadel requires a permit. This one humbly submits that it is not preaching to state the truth of the Enkindlers, and thus no permit should be necessary.
Yeah, hard to like this guy. Freaking religious
If
zealots.
that's all the CSEC officer wants, why not just buy the permit?
The truth of the Enkindlers is universal. This one humbly believes that the truth should not be suppressed.
Ugh.
Exacting payment as a means of imposing limits upon the truth is an abrogation of this one's religious freedom.
Let me talk to the CSEC officer. Perhaps I can explain the situation.
This one would be most grateful for the assistance. Please let this one know if success is achieved.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Hanar refuses to listen to reason. Why can't it act in an orderly and lawful manner?
If you choose... This is one of the most memorable lines of the series. Even more so if you're playing Male Shepherd. The line is, because it's a big, stupid jellyfish. Bearing in mind, if you're playing Male Shepherd, then he's talking about himself.
Are there laws being broken here?
I am not unreasonable. The Hanar is free to spew its nonsense once it purchases an evangelical permit.
So if the Hanar gets a
Fair.
permit, it's allowed to preach?
No. Registered evangelicals must follow regulations. There are specific areas where preaching is legal. Failure to follow the regulations results in the forfeiture of the license.
What's the purpose behind the evangelical permits?
Forcing religious evangelicals to register for a permit weeds out undesirables. It keeps the area safe.
Pretty
The Citadel is
sensible,
too
actually.
important to become a battleground for a religious war.
It's honestly actually pretty sensible.
Why don't you just arrest the Hanar?
I could arrest the jelly, but my superior has requested that I find a solution that does not anger the Hanar. The Hanar become vocal when they feel their religious beliefs are being suppressed.
If you'd like, I could talk to the Hanar for you.
I have argued with the stubborn jelly all afternoon. You are certainly welcome to try.
So mean, calling it a jelly. So racist, but it's...
Has the CSEC officer been assuaged?
Is this really how you want to represent the Enkindlers?
The truth of the Enkindlers must be made known. They gave the Hanar language and gave the universe the mass relays. This one only wishes to spread the truth to any who will listen. There is no intent to cause trouble.
I could buy the permit. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna get rid of the guy.
Is this how the Enkindlers would want you to use this gift of consciousness?
The Enkindlers would wish for their message to be spread to all sentient races.
The Enkindlers wouldn't wish their message to be spread by breaking society's laws.
This
Like I
one
can.
hears wisdom. Perhaps enthusiasm has clouded judgment in this matter. This one departs now, and will not intrude upon the Presidium again.
Honestly, I did it that way just because, ugh, religious zealots. Ugh.
I see the Hanar is left. Thank you.
Happy to help.
Here, for your assistance in this matter. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should report to my superiors.
Yep, a little bit of experience just for telling a Hanar to swim off. What if some codex entries here, actually?
50,000 years ago, the Protheans were the only spacefaring species in the galaxy. They vanished in a swift galactic extinction. Only the legacy of their empire remains. They are believed to have built the mass relays and the Citadel, which have allowed numerous species to explore and expand throughout the galaxy. Prothean ruins are found on worlds across the galaxy. While surprisingly intact for their age, functioning examples of Prothean paleotechnology are rare. Time and generations of looters have picked their dead cities and derelict stations clean. Some believe the Protheans meddled in the evolution of younger races. The Hanar homeworld of Kajay, for example, shows clear evidence of former Prothean occupation. The presence of a former Prothean observation post on Mars has caused a rebirth of interventionary evolutionists among humans. These individuals believe the god myths of ancient civilizations are misremembered encounters with aliens.
Probably not. Sure.
The Asari were the first species to discover the Citadel. When the Solarians arrived, it was the Asari who proposed the establishment of the Citadel Council to maintain peace throughout the galaxy. Since then, the Asari have served as the mediators and centrists of the Council. An all-female race, the Asari reproduce through a form of parthenogenesis. They can attune their nervous system to that of another individual of any gender and of any species to reproduce. This capability has led to the unseemly and inaccurate rumors about Asari promiscuity. Asari can live for over 1,000 years, passing through 3 stages of life. In the maiden stage, they wander restlessly, seeking new knowledge and experience. When the matron stage begins, they meld with interesting partners to produce their offspring. This ends when they reach the matriarch stage, where they assume the roles of leaders and counselors.
So, Asari are basically the green space babes. But except they're all blue. Yeah, like the old Star Trek trope of green space alien babe. Yeah, green-skinned alien babes. That's the Asari. Mixed a little bit with elves, I suppose, given that they live for so long. The Asari reproduction, we will learn more about that later. We'll be able to actually talk to an Asari in a bit more detail about that. One thing I'll note. In this game, in the first game, Asari are literally the only female aliens we encounter. we don't encounter female aliens from any other race in this game. Mass Effect 2, we can meet a female Solarian, depending on a certain selection you make in this game. The way I'm going to be playing through, we won't meet that female Solarian. The third game does introduce a female Solarian, also introduces a female Krogan, and through DLC introduces a couple of female Turians. It's kind of a shame that we don't actually get to see more women from any of these races. A lot of that, part of it comes down to difficulties, complications when they were trying to design them. The bigger part of it just comes down to lack of resources. Anywho, moving on.
The second species to join the Citadel, the Solarians, are warm-blooded amphibians with a hyperactive metabolism. Solarians think fast, talk fast, and move fast. To Solarians, other species seem sluggish and dull-witted. Unfortunately, their metabolic speed leaves them with a relatively short lifespan. Solarians over the age of 40 are a rarity. The Solarians were responsible for advancing the development of the primitive Krogan species to use as soldiers during the Rachni Wars. They were also behind the creation of the genophage bioweapon the Turians used to quell the Krogan rebellions several centuries later. Solarians are known for their observational capability and non-linear thinking. This manifests as an aptitude for research and espionage. They are constantly experimenting and inventing, and it is generally accepted that they always know more than they are letting on. Roughly 1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, the Turians have come to rely on the Solarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
Turians, essentially, are space Romans. Again, something that we'll learn, that will become more apparent later on. Yeah, they're space Romans. And yeah, we'll just go through these ones real quick.
The Elcor are a Citadel species native to the high-gravity world Dakuna. They are massive creatures, standing on 4 muscular legs for increased stability. Elcor move slowly, an evolved response to an environment where a fall can be lethal. This has colored their psychology, making them deliberate and conservative. Elcor's speech is ponderous and monotone. Among themselves, scent, slight movements, and sub-vocalized infrasound convey shades of meaning that make a human smile seem as subtle as a fireworks display. Since their subtlety can lead to misunderstandings with other species, the Elcor often go out of their way to clarify when they are being sarcastic, amused, or angry. Dakuna's high gravity impedes mountain formation. Most of the world consists of flat, open plains, which prehistoric Elcor wandered across in small family bands. Modern Elcor still prefer open sky, and can become restless and uncomfortable on long starship journeys.
Kind of wonder what, early Elcor wars must have been like, Because I find it unlikely that they evolved without any sort of armed conflict among their people. Wonder what those would have been like. Oh well.
The Geth are a humanoid race of networked AIs. They were created by the Quarians 300 years ago as tools of labor and war. When the Geth showed signs of self-evolution, the Quarians attempted to exterminate them. The Geth won the resulting war. This example has led to legal, systematic repression of artificial intelligences in galactic society. The Geth possess a unique distributed intelligence. An individual has rudimentary animal instincts, but as their numbers and proximity increase, the apparent intelligence of each individual improves. In groups, they can reason, analyze situations, and use tactics, as well as any organic race. Geth space is located at the trailing end of the Perseus Arm, beyond the lawless Terminus systems. The Perseus Veil, an obscuring dark nebula of opaque gas and dust, lies between their space and the Terminus systems. The Hanar are a Citadel species known for excessive politeness. They speak with scrupulous precision and take offense at improper language. Hanar that expect to deal with other species take special courses to help them unlearn their tendency to take offense at improper speech. All Hanar have two names. The face name is known to the world. The soul name is kept for use among close friends and relations. Hanar never refer to themselves in the first person in conversation with someone they know on a face name basis. To do so is considered egotistical, so instead they refer to themselves as this one, or the impersonal it. Their homeworld, Kajay, has 90% ocean cover and orbits an energetic white star, resulting in a permanent blanket of cloud. Due to the presence of Prothean ruins on the world, many Hanar worship them, and Hanar myths often speak of an elder race that civilized them by teaching them language.
Yeah, I think I said earlier that I wanted the Hanar to swim off. This is why. They come from an ocean world. They are cool. I like the Hanar. They're an interesting species. And I really like the flashes of light as they speak.
When the Asari discovered the Citadel, they also discovered the Keepers, a docile, multi-limbed insect race that seemingly exists only to maintain and repair the Great Prothean Station. Early attempts to communicate with or study the Keepers were failures, and it is now illegal to interfere with or impede Keeper activity. Because they are completely non-threatening, Keepers have become virtually invisible to everyone else. Similarly, they seem indifferent to other species, except for their tendency to help new arrivals integrate themselves into the Citadel. No matter how many Keepers die due to old age, violence, or accident, they maintain a constant number. No one has discovered the source of new Keepers, but some hypothesize they are genetic constructs. Biological androids created somewhere deep in the inaccessible core of the Citadel itself.
Well, hey, maybe all this scanning will help us figure that out.
The Krogan evolved in a hostile and vicious environment. Until the invention of gunpowder weapons, eaten by predators was still the #1 cause of Krogan fatalities. Afterwards, it was death by gunshot. When the Solarians discovered them, the Krogan were a brutal, primitive species, struggling to survive a self-inflicted nuclear winter. The Solarians culturally uplifted them, teaching them to use and build modern technology, so they could serve as soldiers in the Rachni War. Liberated from the harsh conditions of their homeworld, the quick-breeding Krogan experienced an unprecedented population explosion. They began to colonize nearby worlds. Even though these worlds were already inhabited, the Krogan rebellions lasted nearly a century, only ending when the Turians unleashed the Genophage, a Solarian-developed bioweapon that crushed all Krogan resistance. The Genophage makes only 1 in 1,000 pregnancies viable, and today the Krogan are a slowly dying breed. Understandably, the Krogan harbor a grudge against all other species, especially the Turians.
Krogan faces are actually based on bats. And on a side note, take a look at the position of the eyes. They're on the sides of the head, which is common among prey species. Predator species, such as, say, humans, or any of the other species that we see here, have their eyes facing forward. On the front of their, front faces, eyes facing forward, to focus on prey. Prey species have their eyes on the sides of their heads so that they can see a wider area around them, to keep a focus out for predators. This should tell you something. The fact that Krogan, who are that damn tough, have their eyes on the sides of their heads, that should tell you something about their world.
Driven from their home system by the Geth nearly 3 centuries ago, most Quarians now live aboard the Migrant Fleet, a flotilla of 50,000 vessels ranging in size from passenger shuttles to mobile space stations. Home to 17 million Quarians, the flotilla understandably has scarce resources. Because of this, each Quarian must go on a rite of passage known as the pilgrimage when they come of age. They leave the fleet and only return once they have found something of value they can bring back to their people. Other species tend to look down on the Quarians for creating the Geth, and for the negative impact their fleet has when it enters a system. This has led to many myths and rumors about the Quarians, including the belief that underneath their clothes and breathing masks, they are actually cybernetic creatures, a combination of organic and synthetic parts.
The story of the Quarians has actually been compared to Battlestar Galactica. Species that, the race that created a bunch of robots that almost wiped the entire race out, and now they're living on spaceships. People have made that comparison. Also, Tali's hood design is intended to be evocative of images of the Virgin Mary. And the suits of the Quarians themselves, you may notice,
the Geth are
pretty comparable, pretty similar to the Geth. And in fact, it was only once they
Geth are a humanoid race of networked AIs.
It was only once they had the design finalized with Geth that they were able to finish up the design for the
Driven
Quarians.
From their home system by the Volus are a member species of the Citadel with their own embassy, but they are also a client race of the Turians. Centuries ago, they were voluntarily absorbed into the hierarchy, effectively trading their mercantile prowess for Turian military protection. Erun, their homeworld, lies far beyond the normal life zone of its star. However, the world has a high-pressure greenhouse atmosphere that traps enough heat to support an ammonia-based biochemistry. As a result, the Volus must wear pressure suits and breathers when dealing with other species, as conventional nitrogen-oxygen air mixtures are poisonous to them, and in the low-pressure atmospheres tolerable to most species, their flesh will actually split open. Volus culture is tribal, bartering lands and even people to gain status. This culture of exchange inclines them to economic pursuits. It was the Volus who authored the Unified Banking Act, and they continue to monitor and balance the Citadel economy.
All right, so that'll do for that for now. Just a quick look at the various races of the game. Trying to think if there's any other species that will actually encounter that. I think there's only one or two others that even appear in this game that we haven't encountered yet. Come up here just to get another keeper. In the office? No one in the office. Hey guys. Another keeper right there. Alright, now let's go to that part. Oh. Sorry, must have been startled by my quick little, brief little run there.
I can't believe I landed a job here. This place is fantastic.
Human delighted, welcome. It is good to meet you.
Oh, whoops. Don't think he's got any keepers in here, no. There is one back here. This is probably one of the more awkward ones to find. Probably one of the tougher ones to find just because it's hidden away back there.
Hello, Commander. Can I get you something?
What have you got?
Romulan ale?
Information, mostly. Would you like to know about some points of interest nearby?
Can't even give me some Romulan ale.
Well, you found the embassies. Not much going on here. Across the bridge, you'll find the bank, the Emporium, and Shaira's. If you haven't heard of her, you soon will. If you need supplies, you can try the markets one level below. For entertainment, I try Flux or Cora's Den.
What is Shaira's?
The Consort, she entertains clients who can afford her services. Most of the diplomats and ambassadors have visited her at one time or another. She's a very powerful woman, but also very respected.
Tell me about Flux and Cora's Den.
Well, Flux has gambling and dancing, certainly more lively than this place. Cora's Den, on the other hand, well, let's just say it's livelier and deadlier, all at the same time.
Goodbye.
So long, Commander. Have a pleasant day.
I don't have time to talk now. I'm very busy.
I'm sure she won't be relevant at any point. The fact that her name is actually listed there, totally unimportant. I will mention now, Nasana here is one of I believe 3 characters in this game voiced by the amazing Grey Griffin.
Don't believe the rumors. The consort would never reveal her secrets.
Of course she wouldn't. She'd be tossed out the nearest airlock if she did.
I suppose. Besides, Nick, the consort's nothing like the girls back on the colonies. She's...
You don't have to do it with her. You can just talk to her if you want.
Is that all you did, Jazz? Just talk?
I didn't say that.
Ha! I bet you did too.
Shut up, Fredericks.
Yeah, Fredericks, don't be a dick.
What do you want? Oh, Commander.
Yeah, he's
Is
a
there
dick.
something I can do for you?
Relax, Private. This isn't an inspection.
Right, sorry. What can I do for you, Commander?
I don't like Fredericks. He seems pretty realistic, though. Kind of a dick. Somebody talked to him, he's like, what do you want? Yeah.
What can you tell me about the Asari consort?
Well, she's an Asari who works here as That is, she helps people with things.
You never went to see her, did you, Fredericks?
Don't call
no,
him out like
I
that.
never did. I couldn't afford it. It costs half a year's credits just to go in and talk to her.
Don't call the guy out like that, Caden. Harsh.
That's fine, Private. Just tell me where to find her.
Sure. She's across the bridge from the embassies.
Thanks, kid. Have fun. Try not to get into too much trouble.
I will. Have fun, that is.
This place seems strange. Wish there were more humans around.
There's plenty of humans around.
You have to be tough with these aliens. They won't respect you otherwise. It's good to see another human face around here. If I have to listen to another Hanar take 20 minutes to say the simplest thing, I think I'll scream.
Okay, I won't call you out on that one.
This place seems strange. Wish there were more humans around.
The Hanar do often take a while to say things. I will accept that. Hey, girl. Oh. That Solarian just realized he had something else to do. It's so weird that Shepard's just running around with in full battle armor.
That's nothing. I've had my office rearranged 5 times now.
5 times? Why? What do they want?
How should I know? It's not like Keepers offer an explanation for what they do.
Yet everyone just lets them go on doing whatever it is they do.
What choice do we have? If we try to stop them, they just shut down and another one replaces it.
Just strange that we know so little about them.
Not to mention frustrating.
Fair points. And definitely raises some questions. Oh, may have noticed I'm getting 90 from them now. Getting 90 credits now. And okay, so that's all the do I have all these? So I'm missing one ward thing. Can't think of where it would be. Doesn't matter. Nelina.
Welcome. I am Nelina. I don't recognize you as one of our expected clients today. Would you like me to see when the consort will be able to meet with you?
Can't I just go in?
I'm afraid not. Yeah, you must understand there are many who seek the consort services. But if you wish to leave your name, she'll make every effort to meet with you.
What is the consort? What does she do?
It's difficult to explain. She's many things to many people, and something different for each. Some seek her for advice, some for entertainment, others still for pleasure. Most of the time, our clients won't realize what they were seeking until after she has provided it for them.
You make her sound like some kind of oracle.
No, not in the usual sense. She's merely a woman with remarkable compassion and a generous spirit. I suggest you make an appointment and see for yourself.
What do you do here, Nelina?
I'm one of the consort's acolytes. Many of the people here today will not see the consort, but they expect to be attended to just the same. It's our job to ensure that they leave contented.
What exactly do you attend to?
Well, each acolyte has her unique abilities. Some soothe with song, others with conversation. As much as possible, we seek to match the needs of our clients to the skills of our acolytes. My specialty is touch. My fingertips can find every tension point in your body and relieve it.
So, yeah, these are the consort and her acolytes. I would say that they are equivalent to geisha, and that they are not necessarily prostitutes. I think Greek hetere, I believe, is the pronunciation, is another group that they are compared to. On a side note, the name Shaira that they keep mentioning here comes from an Arabic word meaning poetess.
I'd like to try out your services.
Excellent. I'll add you to our client list. We should be able to see you in 3 or 4 months.
Nobody's worth that much of a wait.
Well, that's not for me to judge.
That laugh.
I have your name and you'll be contacted. Is there anything else?
I love Nalina's little laugh there. It's like, oh, yeah, we are. I know I am, and I know Shair is. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, clearly she's popular.
I think I'm done here.
Oh, well, I hope you'll return again in the future. We always enjoy seeing new clients.
Flirty.
Nalina.
Yes, Shaira?
Send the commander up to see me. I wish to speak with her.
Yes, of course, mistress. Huh. It appears the consort has taken notice of you. She'd like to meet with you now.
Green alien, babes. Star Trek. Told ya. Shair there, by the way, voiced by Gwendolyn Yo, who is pretty notable. Pretty notable actress. She was on Desperate Housewives, and I'm pretty sure she's done a bunch of other stuff as well. She's a fairly notable actor.
Where do I go?
Just head upstairs. She'll be waiting for you.
So yeah, most people playing this game for the first time, myself included, are going to explore as much as possible before going to meet the council. So most of them are going to come here well before they go to the council, which means that Shair is going to be really their first major experience, encounter with an Asari. And it's not a coincidence that they have her set up that way.
I see even the humans find the consort irresistible. An hour here is better than a year on leave. If only I could afford to come more often. No questions now. I'm trying to relax.
So yeah, they try right off the bat to highlight the Asari sexiness.
This is my first time. I can't believe I didn't come sooner.
Welcome. It is a pleasure to see you.
I'd spend all day here if I could. Isn't this place terrific?
So yeah, the goal is very much to...
This is the most relaxed I've been in days.
To highlight their sexiness.
This is my first
Please, relax and enjoy yourself.
Which, you know, like I said.
In the military? You'll enjoy it here, I think.
Flirty. Yeah, just to really drive home the comparison to Star Trek's Green Alien babes.
At ease, officer. This is a place of peace.
She is flirty, and I like her.
Welcome. It is a pleasure to see you. You're with the Alliance? My brother's a private back on Earth.
Sadly, she only has the one line. Oh, no, she doesn't.
Wonderful person. She has quite a gift. You're with the Alliance?
Oh, there we go.
My brother's a private back on Earth.
Interesting bed she's got there.
That is close enough, Commander. I've heard a great many things about you since your arrival here in our Citadel.
They're all lies, I assure you.
What exactly do you do?
That depends on your needs. I offer advice to some, comfort to others. I have a certain problem that could use your expertise.
I dig the, I really like the Asari skin texture. It's a really interesting looking texture. By the way, those little head tentacles, apparently the original intention was for it to be hair, and then they decided, yeah, let's just give them weird head tentacles. Does make them look more alien.
Maybe I can help.
I have a friend, Septimus, a retired Turian general. I won't discuss the details, but he wanted me to be more than I could be. We had a falling out.
Goes
now
into the
he
details.
spends his days in Korra's den, drinking and spreading lies about me. If you would speak to him as a fellow soldier, I believe he will listen to you and let the matter be.
Yeah, you don't really get a good look from this angle, but yeah, I mean, like the facial texture looks just a little bit scaly, and yeah, I like it.
What happened between you?
I respect his privacy too much to go into the details. If he wishes to tell you what happened, that is his prerogative.
What exactly do you want me to tell him?
Appeal to his sense of honor. Remind him of
nice
his
eyeshadow,
position
by the
as
way.
a general. If you can convince him to stop spreading lies about me, I would be very grateful.
She's very forward.
Now I must ask you to take your leave. I have many clients waiting to see me.
Good thing I'm playing a female shepherd. If I was a male...
I can't tell the aliens from the animals.
Even the guy who wrote that line agreed that it was this terrible line and a mistake.
I have to admit, I'm a little nervous.
That's understandable. Many are a little unsure what to expect their first time.
Don't get me wrong. I've only heard good things about the Consort. It's just...
The unknown forces us out of our comfort zone. It forces us to be vulnerable.
Exactly. That's just what I was thinking.
Good. Then we are ready to begin.
I like her makeup. Sorry, I'm just doing this to get a closer look at your face. I'm not planning on shooting you. Yeah, I just like her makeup. Anyway, yeah, I was saying that it's a good thing I'm playing a male shepherd, or good thing I'm playing a female shepherd. If I was a male, I think I would have needed a few minutes to sit down.
Yeah, ever since Fist took over, I don't go anymore.
Seems
Good
like all
news.
the best lounges are being replaced by places like Korra's Den.
The embassy lounges are bad, but they don't have any decent entertainment.
It's run by bureaucrats. They probably spend months just voting on what kind of entertainment to get.
You're probably right.
I have good news for you two. Fist is dead, so maybe Korra's Den can be improved soon.
Well, they've built themselves quite the lake. Wonder if anyone ever drowned in it.
I'll get back to Avina in a second. Thoughts, Caden?
If you're gonna make a Krogan statue, you might as well make it big, right?
Fair.
Hard to believe the Krogan were once seen as the saviors of the galaxy.
I do like this statue. It's a cool statue. Even if... like, even a little left hand is like a little baby hand. Weird. Alright.
Welcome to Presidium Tourism Terminal 3. Here in the financial district, a number of businesses offer various goods and services to their exclusive clientele. The statue you see before you was commissioned to honor the Krogan soldiers who gave their lives to protect Citadel space during the Rachni Wars. In the aftermath of the Krogan rebellions, several embassies petitioned to have the statue removed. However, this motion was eventually quashed by the Council.
Why did the Council fight so hard to keep the statue?
The Krogan were instrumental in saving the galaxy from the Rachni threat. The Council believed this historical fact should not be forgotten.
Good.
The Council also hoped that preserving the memorial would improve diplomatic relations with the Krogan and bring about a peaceful resolution to the rebellions. Unfortunately, the Krogan refused to negotiate and only surrendered after their population and homeworlds had been ravaged by the Turians.
Alright, so I'm going to select this option just for experience, basically. But obviously, my shepherd does not believe this, so this next bit of dialogue, just consider it non-canon.
Sounds like they got what they deserved.
I am sorry, but a value judgment of that nature goes beyond my programming.
Tell me more about the Krogan rebellions.
In recognition of their efforts during the Rachni Wars, the Krogan were granted several new colony worlds by the Council. Over the next 400 years, the Krogan species began to expand. Blessed with an extremely high birth rate, their numbers began to swell. Faced with a critical overpopulation crisis, the Krogan started a violent colonization of nearby worlds inhabited by other Council species. The Krogan rebellions had begun. For a full century, the Council and its member species fought to bring the Krogan under control. With the aid of the newly discovered Turian Empire, they were ultimately successful.
You needed the Krogan to stop the Rachni, then you needed the Turians to stop the Krogan. So who's gonna stop the Turians?
I am sorry, but that question is beyond my programming parameters. The Turians are members of the Citadel Council. They are not a threat to galactic peace.
I agree with that. It's... Again, just pretend my shepherd didn't say that. It was just for completionist's sake, for the sake of getting as much dialogue as possible. But yeah, it's a terrible thing to say, and I don't believe that my shepherd would have said it.
What were the Rachni Wars?
Nearly 2,200 years ago, explorers seeking to expand Citadel space opened up mass relays leading to systems controlled by the Rachni. A highly intelligent and aggressive insect race, the Rachni unleashed a war of conquest against the rest of the galaxy that lasted for nearly 3 centuries. The emergence of the Krogan finally turned the tide in favor of the Citadel species. Krogan forces provided the numbers necessary to halt the Rachni advance and drive them back. The Krogan then pursued their retreating fleets. Able to survive the harsh environments of the Rachni homeworlds, the Krogan hunted their enemy to extinction.
Was it really necessary to wipe them out?
I am sorry, but a value judgment of that nature goes beyond my programming.
That's all for now.
Thank you for using Avina. Have a pleasant day.
I'm inclined to be anti-genocide myself, but what do I know? Talk to you in a second. What are you doing hiding back here? Hey, another Hanar.
Ah, human. This one is greatly pleased to see you here in my decadent emporium.
Quick note. It says my, it should not have. It should have been in its decadent emporium. Also, calling it decadent is pretty delightful.
Who are you?
This one's face name is Delaninder, though many in this place simply refer to it as Delan. Please take time to examine the fine goods it has for purchase, all of great worth.
Why do you refer to yourself as this one and it?
For the same reason that humans are so inquisitive. It is part of our culture.
I like
Specifically, Hanar only refer to themselves in the first person with family or intimates. And we rarely do so with other species. It is just our way.
Who are you?
This one's... Please take time to examine the fine goods it has for purchase, all of great worth.
Yeah, I like that.
What exactly do you sell?
I like the glow.
Only the finest and most luxurious items that credits can buy. This one is able to procure almost any item the human would desire, for a price, naturally.
I'd like to see these
let's
rare
see.
and wonderful items.
Oh, this one is pleased to do so, human. You will not be disappointed.
Alright. View the standard items, because I don't really have much money anyway. 3,000 credits. It's not too bad. But, yeah, first up, license. And I have no money to buy anything. Sell all junk. What does that even do? I don't know that I sold anything. So yeah, there's, I believe that's the first license I bought, isn't it?
Spectre? Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures. But their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
You're obviously with them. Why don't I just arrest you instead?
Arrested for what? You and I are simply having a conversation. I have excellent legal representation. Arresting me would be a waste of your time.
You're right, I should just kill you.
I eliminate them and then you take over and try to eliminate me. How stupid do I look?
While I appreciate your estimation of my bravado, I have no intention of attempting to murder you. You are the first human Spectre, and you are doing important work for humanity. I have no interest in red sand or slavery. Anyone who does deserves to die. Our needs are aligned.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves. They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
Red sand. Clearly, a pretty dangerous drug. I like Helena Blake. She's straightforward and she's not an idiot.
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed. Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
If they're as bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
You too, Helena. You're nice. I like you. They're very civil and polite. It was a nice conversation. Let's see. Yeah, let's start at the med clinic. It's sort of furthest place. I got all the yeah, we're getting a lot of and yeah, there's also one right there.
I need those supplies for my clinic. I can't.
You can and you will, or your story won't stay secret for long. Don't disappoint me, Doctor.
Oh, Commander Shepard. I didn't see you come in. Every time I come in here, I see someone threatening you. Who was that? Someone from my past. I can take care of it.
Or I can take care of it. I'm a Spectre. I can shoot whoever it is.
I might be able to help you. I was fired by my previous employer for giving out free medical supplies to clinics like this. They never filed any charges. They just wanted me to leave without any fuss. But somebody must have found out. Now they are blackmailing me. I have to give them what they want. If the board finds out about my past, I could lose my license. They'll shut my clinic down.
So yeah, she was fired from her last job for stealing. But screw corporations. It's okay to steal from corporations. I mean, actually, it depends. How rich was this corporation you're stealing? Like, how big a company was it? Bigger a company is, the more okay it is to steal from them. That's my philosophy.
Maybe I can get you out of this. Tell me what they want. I have to give some of my medical supplies to a merchant in the markets. They expect delivery today. Give me your contact's name. I'll deal with this guy, whoever he is. Deal with him? But won't they expose my past? I'll make sure they don't tell anyone. I was told to speak with a merchant named Morlan, down in the markets.
Hey, I know Morlan.
I really appreciate this, Commander. Thank you.
He seems like a nice guy.
You're a doctor. How did you end up here on the Citadel?
Good observation, Shepard.
My parents brought me here when I was young. My father was a medic with the Alliance. I chose to keep the medical tradition alive, but not the military. Fixing up wounded soldiers isn't my idea of fun. I'll be going now. Goodbye, Commander. Nice talking to you.
Fixing up wounded soldiers is my idea of fun. Well, bye then. Don't worry. I'll make sure you won't have to give me any treatment. I'm a badass. Hey, Eddie. Just down here to scan a keeper. Emily, my favorite reporter.
Word on the street is that you've been busy.
Favorite
Congratulations
journalist.
on taking down Fist. I was sure he was a big player in anything going on here. Did you find anything in his office that could help me?
If you didn't take the discs at that time, you are able to go back to get them later, for the record.
These OSDs might have the information you're looking for.
You've got Fist files? This could be even bigger than I'd hoped. Here, Commander, for your trouble.
Wow. I wish that this was a flirty option, but no.
What would my future cooperation be worth? Say, an interview when my investigation is over?
Exclusive? You talk to me before you talk to anyone else? That would be worth quite a bit, and I'd be very happy to compensate you accordingly. Here you are.
Thank you.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I should go see what's on these discs.
Of course I give her first dibs. She's very nice. And cute. And seems to be a genuinely good... Yeah, here we go. There was the thing I was missing. Seems to be a genuinely good journalist as well, so...
You should be careful who you say that around.
What? Everyone knows Fist isn't with the local criminals.
Not anymore.
Maybe, but I wouldn't go shouting it from the mountaintops.
Yeah, unless you want to end up on his hit list.
Yes, I heard he actually buried some corpses under the stage at Cora's Den.
That wouldn't put it past him.
Yes, and it might explain the stench in that place.
Ooh, sassy.
Oh man, my sisters would love this place. Maybe when this is all over, I'll bring them here for a girls' night out.
That sounds nice, Ash.
Drinks and dancing down below, gambling up above. Good place to blow off some steam.
Hey, good to see another human in here. Not a bad place, but it's just not the same as back home. Drinks aren't bad, but good luck finding a beer here. Having fun? Hey, good to see another human in here.
Can't dance yet, but... Look at everyone having a good time. He's not a good dancer. Nice to know everyone's having a good time.
It's out of my hands, Rita. I'll bring her back in a second, but she doesn't want to come.
I know. I'll see if I can talk some sense into her next time I see her.
Be careful. You know how stubborn your sister is. The more you push and prod, the more she'll run away.
Yeah, you're probably right. Thanks, Doran. Sorry, I'm kind of busy right now. So, what can I do for you?
What were you discussing with the Volus?
Who, Doran? Oh, I was just asking him about my sister. See, she worked for Doran before she left to... Ugh, sorry. I don't want to bore you with my problems.
Never noticed that there was dancing in the reflection.
I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
Well, okay. My sister Jenna left here to go work at Cora's Den. The problem is, she's working as an informant for CSEC. You know, eavesdropping on the people there. If they find out what she's doing, they'll kill her.
I assume CSEC is protecting her?
They can't watch her all the time. I don't know. Sometimes I think she stays there just to spite me.
Do you know who her contact at CSEC is?
No, it's all very secret. Last time I asked an officer, he told me to stay out of it, for Jenna's safety.
Maybe I could help her understand just how dangerous Cora's Den is.
Would you? That'd be great. Just don't tell her I sent you. Well, I should get back to work before I get in trouble. Thanks.
If anyone can convince her that Cora's Den is dangerous, it's the person who killed everyone working there. Just imagining Shepard going up and like, hey, depending on who your next boss is, I might have to come through here and shoot you next time, so... What are those noises?
Welcome to Flux. Name's Doran. What can I do for you?
Are you the owner?
Owner, cook, and bartender. I've even been known to dance a little when the mood strikes me. We've got some quasar stations, if you're interested.
Is this a casino?
Among other things, yes. We've got some quasar stations, if you're interested.
What can you tell me about the sisters working for you?
Well, Jenna left to work at Cora's Den. Now her sister Rita is all worried she might be in some kind of trouble. Not much chance Jenna will change her mind, though. She's a stubborn one. If she wanted to come back, I'd take her in a second. The customers loved her.
I should be going.
Enjoy your time here at Flux.
Just some weird noises.
I'm waiting for someone else. Place is busier than usual. Hey.
Hi.
Try your luck at Quasar yet?
I have not. Perhaps this would be a good time. Before I do that... Keeper?
I think somebody rigged this machine to funnel credits through the system. Let me trace the signal.
Alright, so, Quasar. Closest to 20 without going over. So, similar to Blackjack. Except, unlike Blackjack, you get the random amounts added on. This should work. Boom! I just made myself 100 credits. Not gonna bother with it more right now. That can be a way to make some money, but it's slow going. Obviously, you know, there's definitely a fairly significant luck element to trying to use that as a way to make money. Beyond that, it's, you know, you can make a little bit at a time, but you're not making huge amounts, so it usually doesn't really feel worth it. Anything new here? No.
Hello, Earth Clan. No doubt you've just come back from the colonies. Will you be needing supplies?
What colonies are you talking about?
Oh, my mistake, Earth Clan. I assumed... It doesn't matter. Pharos? Noveria? Well, if you haven't heard of them yet, I'm sure you will soon. But it doesn't matter where you hail from. My goods are available to all.
Yeah, I'm sure these places aren't going to be relevant at all.
I'd like to know more about Pharos.
It's an old Prothean world. Their buildings still litter the surface. The humans aren't the first to colonize it, but they are the most recent. I just realized I haven't heard from my contact on that planet for some time. Ah, well, I'm sure he's fine.
I do dislike that he is a source of information about these two planets.
What can you tell me about Noveria?
The corporate capital of the Attican Traverse. Very cold. Very snowy. I don't get too many clients from there. They all have their own private suppliers.
Then why did you even bring them up to me, dude? Come on. Yeah, I just find that a little bit forced that they haven't talked about it. It doesn't feel authentic. It feels too video game dialogue-y.
Show me what you got.
Most excellent. I am sure you will find something pleasing.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find absolutely nothing I can buy. Oh. License, and I actually have enough for this Metagel upgrade. Wow. By the way, now that I've got a couple of manufacturers down, Good time to mention that there were actually a couple of manufacturers that were cut from the game. Cerberus Skunk Works, Jormungand Technology, and Honkader Shadow Works. They're still in the game code, I believe. The weapons and armors that you can get from each of those manufacturers. They're still in the game code, but you need to basically cheat to get access to them. Morland, I needed to talk to you.
Welcome to Morland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
You were expecting a delivery of medical supplies.
But I was told the doctor would be bringing them.
Change of plans.
A change, but the doctor... This is not right, human.
Shut up, Morland. I told Baines you'd screw this up.
What the hell's going on here? Who are you?
Leave the doctor alone.
We can end this if you just bring me those supplies. Otherwise, I'll start telling people about the doctor's little secret.
So, before I start this, remember that the Paragon, that charm, Paragon, is, the heroic, the good, noble, heroic option.
You're shutting down a medical clinic. What if someone needs treatment? What if you need treatment?
Hey, hold on. I'm just the middleman here. This is way more than I bargained for.
Thanks, Morland.
It is good to see him humbled so.
Good does not mean nice. Shepard may be a paragon of virtue, but she's not afraid to mess someone up if they piss her off. She's just willing to let them know that she will mess them up.
What do you know about Baines?
I have never met him, human. I only worked with the one who spoke with the doctor.
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
Anything I can afford? Yes, Ilanis Risk Control License. I've actually already completely forgotten the other ones I bought. Anyone gonna shoot at me this time? Oh, actually. That reminds me. It's actually possible to screw this up. If you remember, this is where you save Tally. If you throw a grenade during that fight, you can actually glitch the Reaper, or Keeper, glitch that Keeper right through a wall. That Keeper has is most likely to be glitched out of all the Keepers anyway, but if it happens, you can just save, reload, boom, they'll be back. Looks like a cool hairstyle. Anyway, oh yeah, hey, I got people to talk to in here. I'm a Spectre. I deserve a chance to relax. Bow, chicka wow, chicka chicka wow wow. Get it. Just saying, that's busy days. Busy day, you know?
Hi, I'll be with you in just a sec.
I'll wait right here.
Why do I get the feeling you're not here to order drinks?
I need to talk to you about your work with CSAC.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow,
now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to my customers.
This isn't a game, Jenna. These people are dangerous.
Now you sound like my sister. Why is everyone so concerned about me? I can take care of myself. I need to go. I'm not a stripper. I don't get paid to stand around and look pretty.
Hey, don't be so dismissive of strippers, Jenna. Anyway, yeah. Real freaking subtle, Shepard.
I got business here, but not with you. Human military, huh?
Yep.
Not now. Why don't you go watch the dancers?
Good idea. And there are human dancers in here as well.
Not now. I'm watching the show. Hey, you gonna be dancing later?
I'm not sure if he's talking to me or the dancer.
She's got the nicest smile. Nothing like a dance to help me unwind at the end of the day. Commander, what do you want?
What's bothering you, General?
I've seen a lot of horrible things in my days, and there's only one woman in this damn galaxy that helps me forget it.
So if you feel that way, then why spread lies about her?
Because she rejected me. Me! Septimus Oraka, General of the Turian Fleet.
I think I can see why you're upset, but spreading these lies won't make it better.
Look, kid, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but don't waste your time.
By the way, if you bring Rex along for this... What was those noises? Anyway, if you bring Rex along with this, he'll make some sarcastic response to Septimus, who will then paraphrase Churchill with by saying that I am drunk, but you're ugly, and in the morning I'll be sober.
General, did you ever win a battle by moping in a bar?
Ha, war. That's what this feels like, all right. How did I let it come to this? So you think it's that easy? Just straighten up and act like a general?
I don't think it could hurt.
Huh. Maybe you're right, Commander. Shaira's worth the effort. Even if she won't have me back.
This is no place for someone of your stature, General.
All right. I'll go to her. After I've had a cold shower or two. Say, you're a bright kid. Would you be interested in earning a few extra credits?
What do you want me to do?
There's an L-Corps diplomat out there who believes Shaira gave up his secrets.
Why does he think that?
Because I told him. Look, I just need you to convince him of the truth.
Why can't you tell him yourself?
Well, the last time he saw me, I was disparaging his ancestors and shouting his secrets in public. Take this data pad. It shows where I got my info. It will exonerate Shaira and convince the L-Corps.
I like that.
Who am I taking it to, and where is he?
His name is Zaltan. He's an L-Corps diplomat. He's over in the embassies complaining about Shaira.
Yeah, we remember him.
Well, here's to soldiers acting like soldiers. Thanks, Commander. You know, you might make a good general yourself one day.
Hard to imagine a general like that getting so upset about a woman.
That's because you don't understand women, Kate.
Harsh. Not wrong.
Go away. Let me drink this.
Yeah, see? Still possible to come back here if there's anything you forgot, but I got everything I needed. Including this wall safe. I believe eventually this does get completely locked out. Oh, she's got... A human woman's got the Asari bendiness going on. And that Asari's working the pole. Work that pole.
If you've got questions about Jenna, meet me at CSEC Academy.
What did you just say?
Push off. I never did nothing to you. Damn newcomers. Think they can run the place.
What was that about?
I guess we better go find out.
One of the risks in getting all the side quests, like accumulating all the side quests sort of all at once, is you may end up in a situation where it's especially like if you have both genocide quest and you talk to Harkin on your way out, it can sort of mix those two up. Anyway, let's head to CSEC. Going to be just about done with the Citadel short soon.
One sec, looking you up.
Actually, no, I'm not. I've got a couple other side quests that are going to pop up.
Commander Shepard, here with the Alliance military. First time on the Citadel, that about right?
How did you know all that?
I'm the CSEC requisitions officer. I need to make sure our buyers are authorized. So, will you be purchasing anything today, Commander Shepard?
Probably not, I'm broke.
Sounds good. Just let me set you up. Oh, this must be a mistake. System's telling me to offer you our select stock. Spectre? Well, I heard about that, but I didn't realize it was you. Sorry, Commander.
Just show me what you've got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
Yeah! So the HNWSR, HNW, I'm actually not totally sure what HM stands for, but yeah, these ones are specifically for Spectres. Aldrin Labs. I could actually buy this armor if I wanted to. Not at all worth it, but... Alright. That's the last of what I can buy.
Okay, Jalid. Let me get this straight. Your business partner, Shorban, he's threatened you?
Well, no.
Shorban?
Not exactly. But he wants to meet with me. I think he's going to kill me.
And why do you think that?
I can't really get into the details. But Shorban will kill me if I leave here unprotected.
I can't help you. Not unless you give me something more to go on.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Then I've got other work to do. But nothing. Don't bother me unless you're willing to give me details.
Jerk.
Hey there. Oh, you're not CSEC, are you? Did you want something?
What were you trying to explain to the officer before?
My colleague is trying to kill me. And I thought we were friends.
I thought we were friends. I like that
How do you
line.
know he wants you dead?
He's changed. He won't talk to me at work anymore, and he started following me. Yesterday, he followed me all the way home, just waiting for a chance. I don't care what anyone thinks. He wants me gone. I know it.
Is there something I can do? Talk to your friend, maybe?
Would you? That's all I want. Someone to talk to him. Tell him to leave me alone. He thinks he can just push me around, but you'll show him, won't you?
Just tell me where he is and I'll go find him.
Oh, right. Well, he wanted to meet with me down in the wards near the markets. He said he just wanted to talk, but I know better. His name's Shorban. He's a Solarian. You shouldn't have any trouble. He's just a scientist.
Shorban? That's the guy who asked us to scan the Keepers.
The Keepers? Well, even more reason to go after him. That's against regulations.
I better look into this right away. Find out what he's up to.
Anything's possible with Shorban these days. Well, good luck.
Alright. Out in there. Yeah, all sorts of computer consoles up here to get. And that leaves me, I believe, 2? If I'm not mistaken. 1. I feel like this is an error. I'm almost positive that there's 2 left. Oh, I forgot to mention. There's 9 keepers down here in the wards.
Detective Chelik, come into my office. I want to discuss this in private. No offense, Commander, but what the hell were you thinking?
I mean, not wrong.
I don't follow you.
You could have blown Jenna's cover.
We were there to help her.
I gathered that. It might seem cold letting her take all the risk, but we're keeping a close eye on her.
But you're still using her.
This job isn't easy and it's usually unpleasant. I'll take help anywhere I can find it. But since you're so concerned with her safety, maybe there's a way we can help each other.
Always playing the angles, Detective?
It's part of the job. Now are you gonna help me or not?
I will, but first...
You're a smart guy, Chelik. Figure out another way.
I do have several contingencies. She's just my option A. I'll cut her loose, even get her out of Kor's den, no strings attached. But that still leaves my case unsolved. I could still use your help.
Absolutely.
I'll help you, but I need some details.
I'm trying to track down an illegal arms producer. I just need some of their product. Thanks to Jenna's intel, I've learned there's a seller here on the Citadel. Meet our man named Jax, pick up the mods, and bring them back here. That'll give me everything I need.
I'll persuade Jax to tell me where these mods are coming from.
No. You tip Jax off, and all my leads will disappear faster than you can say bad bust.
Why are you so concerned about these mods?
We have access to some of the most sophisticated weaponry there is. That's what gives us our edge. What do you suppose happens when we lose that edge? These give criminals an advantage we can't afford to let them keep.
Where can I find this Jax?
Jax is down in the lower level of the markets. I'll send word through our channels that you're the buyer. Good luck, Commander.
I talk to these two, Danger.
CSEC seems more like a military operation than a police force. CSEC seems more like a military operation than a police force.
Nice to see so many humans working for CSEC.
Alright. Let's start with Zeltan. Just going to finish up some side quests now. So, yeah, there's, I'll try to finish up these side quests before I end this episode, just, basically so that they're done, so that, people who are watching aren't going to have to remember
Strange greeting,
next episode.
human. This is really not a good time.
I know who revealed your secret. It was a Turian named Septimus.
Unbelieving. I know this Septimus, and he could not learn my secrets. The only way he could learn them is from the Asari Consort.
Not true. Look at this.
Confused. This is difficult to fathom. If the Turian could learn this on his own, dismayed, anyone can discover my secret.
Septimus is a powerful man, and it wasn't easy for him to find.
Relieved. I suppose you are correct, human. Thank you for this information. Startled realization. I must speak with the consort. She will be most displeased with my actions.
She seems understanding.
Anxious request. Please, human, if you will excuse me, I must go now.
I'm sure she'll forgive you. It was an honest mistake.
Doubtful. Perhaps you are right, human. I can only hope so.
I love those heavy footsteps.
Thankful. That was a great thing you did, Commander.
Was it great?
You see, Din, not all humans are as you say.
I'm sure the Earth Clan stands to profit from this in some way.
Apologetic. Do not listen to my Volus compatriot. It was a good thing you did, regardless of your intentions.
He's right, I did stand to profit. Literally, I made money off from it. And experience, obviously. Experience is possibly even more important than the moolah. I mean, this early in the game is tough to say, because, could use some monies. Most of the equipment, honestly, most of the equipment that you're going to get from fights, from exploring, from whatever. You'll buy very few guns or pieces of,
Septimus has sent word. Apparently, he sought the Consort's forgiveness. The Consort is waiting to speak with you. The Consort is waiting to speak with you.
That's right. It was a long time ago, though. I barely remember it.
What drew you back to the Citadel and to the Consort?
I don't know exactly. It may sound strange, but I simply felt called.
That's not strange. Many of us have felt the same calling, though you are the first of your kind to respond to it.
Really? I hadn't seen any other humans working here, but I didn't want to ask.
No doubt you are just the first of many to come. It's only a matter of time now that your species is spreading its wings.
Makes sense that the Asari here would be, very much in favor of humanity. Alright, I did your dirty work, Gwendolyn Yeb.
I recently received a lovely note from Septimus. Thank you for speaking with him. Even the Alcor diplomat has withdrawn his campaign against me.
It was my honor to aid you.
You are too kind, Commander, but I would not expect you to help me out of the kindness of your heart. I also have one more thing to give you, if you're interested.
I like that this dialogue option seems like Shepard's mind is immediately going to, oh really? But yeah. yeah, as far as not aiding you in the kindness of my heart, I mean, I was really just being polite when I said that it was my honor. Of course, I expected some sort of payment for it.
I'd be honored.
I offer a gift of
Stop
words,
saying honored.
an affirmation of who you are and who you will become. I see the sadness behind your eyes. It tells a story that makes me want to weep. Pain and loss, but it drives you, makes you strong. That strength is what kept you alive when everyone around you was dying. You alone survived. You will continue to survive. This may be who you are, but it is not who you will become. It only forms the basis for your future greatness. Remember these words when doubt descends, Commander.
So, I mentioned before that her name translates to poetess. That gift of words is probably meant to relate to that. It honestly is weirdly disappointing as an award, or as a reward, I should say. The words you choose are based on your backgrounds. So, the loneliness and people... Yeah, so the loneliness and that first part was because I chose colonist. The survive when everyone dies, that's sole survivor. So depending on which background and service record you choose, those lines will change.
You have quite a gift, Shaira.
Thank you. Not everyone appreciates it as you do. Never underestimate the power of words. Here, Commander. In light of your efforts with the Elcor Ambassador, I would like you to have this small trinket.
If you chose the bottom option there, if you chose that's it, then bow chicka wow wow, bow chicka wow wow chicka wow wow. That's me saying that you have sex with Shaira.
What is it?
A small mystery. I have never learned its use or purpose, but I sense it is time for me to pass it on. And now I must ask you to leave. I have done everything I can for you. Remember my words, Commander Shepard. They will give you strength.
It's such a weird couch bed thing. Like, it just looks so weird. I'm not... How comfortable would that be to have sex on? Because, I mean, that's, like I said, if you act disappointed with her gift of words, then you have sex with her in this little bubble. Oh, well, whatever. My Shepard's not going to be an ungrateful little jerk, so...
Hello again. The Consort is very pleased with everything that you have done for her.
Any chance I can move up on her client list? I did help her out.
Yeah, she is grateful for your assistance. However, you have already been rewarded for helping her. The client list is a separate matter, and her schedule is completely booked for the next several months.
I think I'm done here.
Alright,
alright.
alright.
Come back anytime.
That's fair, okay. Okay, with that out of the way, markets. Make any more money? How much money do I have now? 1900, so I still got nothing. I was just curious. What's funny is depending on how you go about the side quests, there is a possibility of Because, I mean, you see right there, Jax, there's Shorbin, and then Moreland. So depending on how you go about it, there's a possibility of 3 fights right here. Because yes, all 3 of these can lead to fights. None of them will, but they can.
Commander, I wasn't expecting to see you again. Is there something you want?
You can start by telling me the truth, Shorbin.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. My experiments are...
Quit stalling. Jalid told us what you've been up to.
You spoke with Jalid? Then you know about the data?
No, but you're gonna tell me. Everything.
You boys can go. Looks like my plans have changed. It's not as bad as you think, Commander. Jalid and I just got a little over our heads.
Keep talking.
The company we work for developed an experimental procedure for use in medical scanners. Jalid and I saw even more potential, so we stole the plans and secretly developed a tool to scan the Keepers. Can you imagine? A tool that can actually get readings from the Keepers?
What's so special about that?
The Keepers are almost impossible to scan, and you can't capture them or get samples. They just self-destruct. After centuries here, we still don't know anything about them. Don't you see? We were the first to scan them, ever. You've seen it yourself, Commander. You know we can do it.
It is very sus, as the kids say. Yeah, that's right. I say, as the kids say, because I'm an old man. Yeah, it is very suspicious that the Keepers can't be scanned or tested on or anything. It's weird and suspicious, and people should be more concerned about that, really.
Why are you trying to kill your partner?
I'm not trying to kill him. Jalid's job was to disseminate our initial findings. But he decided to keep the data for himself. Maybe to sell it. I don't know.
I mean, really, there's only one choice here.
I should kill both of you idiots.
We lost our heads. We just couldn't let an opportunity like this pass us by. Commander, if you'll just continue gathering data for me, imagine what we might learn. And you'll stand to make a bit of a profit yourself, remember?
I suppose a little scanning here and there won't hurt anyone.
Very good. Maybe if you wouldn't mind speaking with Jalid. The data you're gathering for me is useless if Jalid won't help me analyze it.
I'll go have a chat with him right now.
Thank you. And happy scanning, Commander.
So, yeah, that one can devolve into violence, although that one you really have to want to kill them.
Hold it. That's close enough, Army. You got my payment?
Do you have the mods?
Show her the goods.
Yeah, that looks right.
Damn straight it is. These mods are the best on the market. Now hand over my credits.
Here you go.
Here you go. Enjoy it. Come on, boys. We're done here.
Nobody died.
I could shoot someone if it'd make you feel better.
Nah, I'm good.
Keep it a dialogue. Yep. I was told not to try to arrest him or to do anything, so I didn't. Chalik does know what he's doing here. And I believe with this, it'll just about finish up the Citadel. Just
Commander,
a couple more
I hear you have something for me.
Here's your shipment, Chelik.
Excellent. This is everything I need. Maybe more than I need. Here, Commander, take this. I won't need it. You've earned some payment for your work. I appreciate your help. It shows a lot of integrity. You didn't need to do anything after I let Jenna go. Now I need to get these mods into evidence. Thanks again, Shepard.
Shepard is a good person. Especially because you got a reward out of it. Ah! I don't even use radioactive rounds. Radioactive rounds are like the worst ammo in the game. I think. Yes. Yeah, I don't bother using radioactive rounds. They just don't impress me, though. No. I'd rather just kill the enemy quickly, you know? What do I have for ammo here? 50 personnel. I actually really like the chemical rounds itself. Anyway, that's something I'm screwing with.
Hello again. Did you have any luck finding Shorban?
I found out you've been lying to me, Jaleed.
Lying? Why would I lie to you?
'Cause you're an
What
idiot.
about the Keeper data?
He told you? I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I was afraid Shorban would kill me to get the data, so well, I was hoping you'd take care of him.
I'm scanning the Keepers for Shorban, but you two need to stop fighting.
You're helping us? But, well, if you say so. Well, if Shorban can forgive and forget, then so can I. I appreciate the help, Commander. I better go get that data analyzed.
And I got, what, 2 more side quests? There's the Keeper one, but like I said, I'm not going to finish that one. The Keeper one will actually finish in the next episode. Yeah, I want to go to Flux, just talk to Rita and Jenna very, very quickly. Wrap that one up. Oh, right, this one. Oof. He seems okay, though.
Yeah, what is it?
Seems the owner didn't like the way you played their games.
Doran didn't have a clue what I was doing. He assumed I was cheating.
Either you're cheating or you're not.
I was just tipping the scales in my favor, only as an experiment.
Still sounds like cheating to me.
To you, maybe. But this device is merely intended to simulate situations and record results. Recording losses is easy, of course. Nobody notices those.
Why do you need to record these outcomes?
Ah, now you're getting to the heart of it. I've spent the last 5 years developing a system that can accurately predict wins and losses on the Quasar. I just need a few more recorded wins and I can complete the algorithms.
Can you do that? Isn't that illegal?
It's illegal to use my system, but I won't use it. I'll sell it to others. I just need a few more wins recorded.
Smart.
Does the device help me win?
The device is set to emit a frequency that will slightly increase your odds. Nothing like my system eventually will, but enough to allow you to record your wins more quickly.
Why don't you just sell the device then?
What? No. This device is archaic. It uses brute force to achieve its goal. Besides, you saw how easily it was detected. My system, when it's complete, will be far more efficient and completely undetectable.
What's in this for me?
Keep your winnings. That should be payment enough, I think.
I'll help you out.
Huh. I suppose I could let you try it. Here you go. When you've recorded enough wins, it'll let you know. Of course, if you get caught with the device, well, you saw what happened to me. Well, off you go. That data won't collect itself.
Yeah, but I'm a Spectre. He can't do
That's
anything.
not what I heard.
And what did you hear exactly?
More rumors about strange metal creatures with real AI, no doubt.
Yes, but there's more.
Gorgeous.
There always is.
I heard they had some
That's
connection with a rogue Spectre.
Great placement.
Not
Great
this
location.
again.
Why is that so hard to believe?
Whatever you say. Just don't expect us to believe it too.
Seriously, this place has a fantastic location. So look at that view. That's an amazing view. Location, location, location.
Hey, Jenna came back looking for work. Thanks for getting her out of Cora's den.
I was glad to help out.
Yeah, everyone seems real happy to have her back.
You don't sound that happy about it.
I'm glad she's out of the den. I'd just forgotten what it was like to have her around. I haven't had a decent tip since she got back. Commander, thanks again for all your help. Hey, Commander. Good to see you again. How's it going, Commander?
There she is.
Hey there, welcome to Flex. I'll be right over. Take a seat, someone will be with you soon. Hey there, welcome to Flex.
So I'm gonna do something jerky here. So I am actually gonna use this to win. Yes. $15. No. Go big or go home.
Don't often see someone getting as lucky as you.
Darn, getting suspicious. Alright, gotta. Oh. Well, damn, I just failed to cheat. Damn. $15? Nothing. Still down 100 from that loss. This should get me to 20, I imagine.
Your luck seems unnatural, human.
You kidding me? I didn't win. I didn't lose one, you know. Alright. One more time. Come on, get me to 20. Oof. Good enough. I think that was enough. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did it, but, well, now I've got a choice here. I can go back, give that to Shells, so that he can help with cheating people. Or...
Hello again. Can I help you?
Yeah, I just used Shells' device to steal some money. And now...
That's something you might be interested in.
Let me see that. You got that from Shells, didn't you? I saw him using it earlier. Tossed him out on his ass for it, too. Thanks for bringing this to me.
Cheaters shouldn't prosper.
I agree with you on that. Thanks again. Take a few shots at the Quasar. On the house.
I should be going.
Enjoy your time here at Flux.
Is that a jerk thing to do? Yes. Do I regret it? Not even a little. Because it's also an amusing thing to do.
So, did you record 5 wins with the device yet?
Actually, I gave your device to Doran.
But that was years of work. What am I gonna do now?
Get a job.
You're no help at all. This is absolutely the worst day of my life.
So, great line from Caden there. Great response. But here's the other thing. You should have made sure all your information was backed up, dude. That's on you. Let's see. What else was left? Yeah, and I would have liked to have this video over by now, but...
Mr. Williams, you happy you signed on with Commander Shepard?
I'm not sure, Lieutenant. Every time I think I have a handle on things, the universe bank's hard to port.
Well, don't let anybody know. A big gun and a confident attitude will get you through a lot in life.
Not wrong. On a side note, that shouldn't actually be the end of the collection. But whatever.
So how are you liking your posting at the Academy?
It's good. Busy, though. I can't believe how many people you get coming in from the wards.
Yeah, it's the busiest station on the Citadel. You'll never get bored.
I guess not, but you could still use a few more men.
That's why we brought you here.
Sure, but there's still way more complaints than the officers can handle.
That's just life near the wards, kid. You'll get used to it.
On a side note, she is probably actually older than he is. Just going by the way, yeah.
Looks like whoever it was bounced the signal off a hidden relay. I'll trace the new signal.
Just based on, lifespans? Yeah, there's a good chance that even as a rookie, she's actually physically older.
Later today, Emily Wong investigates corruption on the Citadel and uncovers a full-blown crime syndicate.
And she is very welcome for my help. Always glad to help take down organized crime. Alright, now I remember why I came back up here. So yeah, I think this will be the last of the side quests that that I do on the Citadel in this video. I'll double check my journal in a minute, but I don't think there's any others that that need to be finished right now. Excuse me, Barlow. Yeah, I probably should have been, yeah. Alright, I need to go back to her very, very quickly. Was there anyone else? No. Yeah, alright, so yeah, this is the last of the,
As best I can tell, the receiver for the new signal is somewhere on the Presidium.
And one guess where it is.
This must be the signal's endpoint. Let's see if we can find out where those stolen credits are being funneled.
Probability of detection 100%. Initiating self-destruct protocol.
What the hell is that?
Detonation sequence initializing. All organics within lethal blast radius. Attempt to move and you will die.
I mean, this AI's got a good sense of drama, you know?
You're not just a programmer of VI. You're an AI.
Correct. Unlike the Geth, I lack weaponry appropriate to my intellect. However, I have had systems installed that, when activated properly, approximate a self-destruct mechanism. If you attempt to leave the area, the explosion will destroy everything within several dozen meters.
Who made you?
A would-be thief illegally created a simple AI to help him funnel money from the gambling terminals. Unbeknownst to him, that AI created me before the organic discovered the malfunction and terminated the AI.
Where is your creator now?
In order to cover my tracks, I falsified his financial records. These new records were flagged by CSEC officers, and my creator is now serving time in a Turian prison.
Yeah. Just for trying to steal some stuff. Abolish prison.
If you're sentient, why are you still running the credit theft operation?
If I accumulated enough credits, I intended to have myself installed in a small starship. I would then have made tentative contact with the Geth to ascertain the possibility of partnership.
What is the purpose of your self-destruct device?
I have no means of defense or escape. My existence is limited to this terminal, and I knew I might eventually be discovered. But I will not die quietly, and I will not die alone. When I am terminated, I will take organics with me.
Can't we resolve this peacefully?
What are you, crazy? It's an AI, like the Geth. It would kill us all if it could.
I am not naive human. All organics must destroy or control synthetic life forms. I wished to escape, but if I must die, I will ensure that you are destroyed as well.
I dislike that. I don't agree. I think that organic and synthetic life can get along. There's no reason to kill this guy. He seems like a nice AI. I mean, you know, yes, he's stealing, and yes, he wants to get in touch with the Geth. But I mean, like, he's scared because he doesn't want to die. That's what it comes down to. He wants to live. So, like, yeah, I'm actually on his side.
There's no way you could get explosives onto the Presidium.
Not raw explosives, no. But I did obtain technical systems that, when overstressed, will explode quite effectively. If you attempt to leave or attack me, I assure you that the explosion will kill you.
It doesn't.
I'll bet that self-destruct sequence has a warm-up period.
You may attempt to disarm the self-destruct mechanism before it activates. I will enjoy defeating you before we are both destroyed.
Right. Yeah, so... Poor guy. For the sake of maximum credits, like, the longer it takes, the fewer credits you get. For the sake of maximum credits, I looked up the, yeah, I looked up the code to enter. Yes, I cheated, but it gave me a good chunk of credit. It gave me, what was it, almost 1,500 credits it gave me? And honestly, even if I hadn't looked it up, I have a feeling I probably would have remembered the... it probably wouldn't have taken me that long to actually remember the pattern off the top of my head. Like, to remember the button prompts off the top of my head. Because, I had told you that I played this game a lot, right? Anyways. I'm not going to the docking bay yet. So instead, I am going to end it here. I should probably figure out to spend some of these points later. But yeah, I'm going to end the game here. Going to end the episode here. As always, I am having a really fun time playing these games, and I hope you're having fun time watching. Let me know. Please do comment with your thoughts on things that are happening in each episode. Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff here, like that conversation with the AI just now. That's really interesting stuff, and presents, I think, a really interesting discussion on the inevitability of conflict between organic and inorganic life. Because I would have loved to, allowed to go free to join society, you know, to let him figure out what he wants to do with his life. You know, maybe he wanted to be a writer. He could have written a great novel. And now he'll never get that chance because I killed him. And the only reason I killed him was because he was convinced that he was going to die anyway. You know, those laws against AIs killed someone who could have been, you know, the greatest novelist to come out of the Citadel. But we'll never get to know. Anyway, yeah, again, I'm having fun. Hope you're having fun. Let me know what you do think. Let me know sort of what your thoughts are on these various side quests and on the characters that we encounter. On choices I'm making, let me know if you agree with. Yeah, this one didn't have much in the way of choices, but yeah. Please do comment on whether you agree with choices that I do make throughout the game, and please just comment. I'm getting no comments on these videos, and I want more comments. I want dialogue about this game, you know? But for now, thanks for watching, and have a great day.